Conversations with Nicole. Let's talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I wanna know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about Conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host, and Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. Today is what I call Mindset Monday, and our topic is defining purpose. And we have none other than the closer himself, Mr. Ozzie Daniel from Virginia Beach, Virginia. And so we are super excited and delighted to have Ozzie on with us. This is our first show with Ozzie of the new year. So it's been, I think we said October was the last time he was on. It seems like forever, but we're glad to have him. But before we bring Ozzie on, I want to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. And your comments and questions are very much so welcome. I just got in from a great conversation with the Junior League of Tallahassee. They had me be a guest presenter on conscious communication. And boy, I tell you, it was a dynamic group of ladies and they were very engaged. So shout out to the ladies of JLT. Appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for your hospitality. All right, I am going to go ahead and share some of Ozzie's bio. And if you are watching us, definitely put your city and your state in the comments so we can give you a shout out. This is an interactive live, and your questions and comments are welcome. All right. But Ozzie Daniel graduated with honors within 5 years of education in psychology and organizational leadership. He served in the U.S. Navy. During his career, he served in his Navy career. He served in departments in the communication field. He is a servant leader. He enjoys serving others while building a mind of faith and gratitude in the community, and works as a mental health skill builder. And he serves as a clinician family coordinator and has a holistic approach to mental health that includes the whole well-being to enhance the quality of life. He is a jazz lover, a lover of reading and cooking, and also cooking his favorite Caribbean meals. And he has the vision of opening a jazz corner. I'm still waiting on this jazz corner, Ozzie. So you're gonna have to let us know what we're doing in 2026. Anyway, his mantra, one of his mantras is no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And it doesn't cost a thing to be kind, but be kind to yourself first. Y'all help me welcome Mr. Ozzie Daniel.
Hey. Hello, Nicole. Even though we saw each other backstage for a second, but it's good to see you for the new year. Happy New Year. And thanks for having me on one more time.
My pleasure.
In the month of January, closing it out, the 26th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it cold enough down there in Tallahassee, like up here?
It's cold enough. We don't need it to get any colder. I'm not complaining because, listen, I know there is snow across much of the country. So I am truly grateful for these 40 or 50 degrees that we got in Tallahassee.
And still in the United States of America, isn't it?
Still in the United States.
Wow, isn't that a thing? Absolutely. What a thing to tell a king, huh?
Anyway, so Ozzie, tell the people, who is Ozzie Daniel? Not what you do, but who are you?
All right. Well, to those who have been listening over and over again throughout the years, and I'm saying the years because it's been years,
It is.
I am an evolving man, that love Elohim, and I believe in living a life with gratitude, and I find meaning in it daily, weekly, and every day of my life. I also a father of two wonderful young people that are doing well in their lives, and I'm happy for them. And I'm just a people person, and more that I develop and cultivate a relationship with Elohim, is the more I have a greater sense and love for people. But I love to see people grow, doing well with themselves, and doing the best that they could do, because we all have that potential. But until that potential is fulfilled, there's still work to be done. So, how much work are we putting in ourselves? We will be discussing that tonight.
Okay, as we define purpose, as we define purpose.
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. So, as I do, since I do have a licensed counselor on, I need to read my disclaimer because I don't want you all to confuse this for counseling, okay? So, all topics, past, present, and future, on Conversations with Nicole are for informational purposes only. They are not to be used as a diagnosis for treatment or an answer to any personal issues related to the topic being discussed before, during, or after the program. All right. All right. So, all right, we got Miss Portia on here. Good evening,
Hey,
Portia.
Portia. Good evening. That's
You.
right.
Happy New Year to you. Hope you're doing well. All
Yes.
right. So,
Yes.
oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Folks are chiming in now. This is Warren Cave.
Hey, Mr. Warren Cave.
Good
He's
evening.
Yes,
I'm
yes, yes. Glad to
involved
see
in
you,
Dr.
sir.
Oz. Nicole, don't be interrupting the doctor tonight. Okay, whatever. Anyway, he already started with the foolishness. Anyway, we are talking. Wait. And Tiffany, thank you for being here. Good evening.
Good
Tallahassee
evening.
is
Good
showing
evening
up
to
tonight.
everyone.
Love it, love
Good
it, love it.
evening to all. Happy
Yes.
New Year to all.
So please like, please share, please tag a friend and let them know they need to be on here because we're going to talk about purpose.
Hmm.
I think it's a great way to start off this new year. All right.
Yes.
So defining purpose. So Ozzy, how would you define purpose?
How would I define purpose? So we're kicking
Oh,
it off for
purpose.
right now with me, right? Let's go.
Let's go.
So we're today's the 26th
It
of
is.
January. Yeah. And we have about 338 days remaining in the 365 days of the year.
It goes so fast.
It goes so fast,
Mhm.
and by the time we blink our eyes, it's Valentine's, blink our eyes, it's springtime, blink our eyes, it's summertime, blink our eyes. Oh my gosh, the year is done. Get through the 6 month, and now we like, oh man, what am I doing?
Right.
But one of the greatest thing that I believe that we could really enjoy
Mhm.
fulfilling is understanding purpose.
Okay.
So, what about purpose? It's a guiding principle that gives us meaning to our lives. So, when we reflect on our values, we reflect on our passions and our contribution. Oh, can we really reflect on these things and say, am I living a purposeful life? Do
Hmm.
my life have meaning, or I'm looking for meaning or sustaining meaning because now I found my purpose, so now I need to stay consistent in that
Mhm.
purpose. But until then, we all have it came to me this evening, we all have a mustard seed in us,
Mm.
and that mustard seed is a seed of faith.
Okay.
And until we go within and start searching with a searchlight within, it will never come to light. Some of us look on the external locus of control looking for our purpose. Yes, you may see something that is happening on the outside that move you from within. It always will take place from within. And until then, we'll still be searching, probably still getting distracted, still looking for everything outside and not taking the time to reflect within to find what that purpose is. Some of us may feel like, oh, I'm not good enough, or self-sabotaging ourselves because we're looking for applause. We're looking for someone to tell us what we need to be doing. No, it's all within ourselves. It's all within. And the only person that could bring it out is God himself. But until we start spending time and come into a place of stillness and come into a place of quietness to listen to what really move us from within. And you know the funny thing about it, Nicole, we all have that special fingerprint. No one have the same fingerprint. So that make us so unique.
Right.
So unique. But at the same time, what is our guiding principle? Some have none.
Well,
But everyone should have some kind of guiding principles, some type of values, because I tend to say I like adding values to others. I like adding value. That means building, cultivating, getting your hand within the grounds to build up. But at the same time, are we taking the time for ourselves in all the challenges that we may encounter to tap in to find that positive attitude to reveal that purpose that is within?
So let me pause you. I did a talk on my course morning show this morning about purpose, just to kind of set it up for today. And let me say hi to Letitia, who's joining us here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here. So when I talked about purpose, I talked about like why something exists, right? A, a person, a place, whatever. What the why really behind it.
Yes.
But I talked a little bit about my personal experience from the standpoint of having a purpose prior to having my son, which I had in my junior year of college, and my purpose shifting because of this particular role now as my son's mother. And for 18 years, that was a huge driving force behind my why I did what I did, which was working hard, which was, during his life, his childhood years, I bought a home, the things that I did to make it a safe and secure place for him to grow up. But when he left, he graduated high school and went off to college, I felt like part of my purpose was no more. I felt kind of purposeless because I really hadn't explored who I was and what I liked. You know what I'm saying? Like during that time, maybe your early 20s or earlier, I guess, you're exploring that. But my focus was on being mom.
And you was actually being a responsible, accountable mother and putting your child first and raising your child, which comes with awareness and responsibility. And that was part of the nature of nurturing that part of your life. So throughout that part of your life, you were nurturing. So now once that young man grew up and move on, and you put in all that work and you put in all the tools and you put in all the information and data as much as you could within him, now it's almost like giving the wings to fly away. Now you could get out the nest and live on,
Right.
So you put in that work. So now it come out, I call it the empty nest syndrome. because there was no one else in there to take that place. So, of course, the focus started to come back on yourself. Okay,
Correct.
who's Nicole?
So
Why
that's
am
my
I here?
so yes, so that's leading up to my question, which is twofold.
Okay.
Um, can purpose be for a period of time, right?
Hmm.
And also, can it shift? Like in my talk today, I talked about big purpose and little purpose, and how sometimes our little purpose can help us achieve the big purpose, because sometimes the big person purpose can be very overwhelming, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
cause us to have anxiety and almost even be depressed, right?
Right.
Because we not living up to what we believe our purpose is.
Right. I
Mm-hmm.
think personally, though, when purpose is found, it evolves.
Mm,
You see, so you were being a steward of the relationship that you had for your with your son,
mm-hmm.
and you did your best with all your might in that area. So that is one section of your life. There's many parts in the whole. So
Mm-hmm.
that part, you put your energy, you put your time in to fulfill that area of responsibility.
Right.
Now, when we talk about purpose, there's that seed within our being that is for the world.
Mm. Okay.
God placed that seed within us that only He alone could cultivate within us to give to the world, whether it may be in your community, like what you're doing right now, as we were speaking before. I said
Mm-hmm.
you're living in your purpose right now. You
Right.
are thriving through your purpose. So, thriving through your purpose, you have to be so sensitive in listening
Mm-hmm.
to grow. All the connection is in the dots right there. Your talents, your special skills and abilities, especially the skills part. All
Mm-hmm.
of that is part of the cultivating, I will call it the dirt, into developing your purpose. But the only way for it to really be in total thriving,
Mm-hmm.
it have to be continually cultivated. Sometime we may have to go get some more education. Sometime we may have to place ourselves in an environment where it could thrive and it could be developed. And self-discipline. I have spoke about discipline so many times, but
Yeah.
it's not something to restrict us, but it's something to create freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's we look at it like, oh my gosh, I'm so in a straight jacket. No, it's creating freedom, because freedom come with responsibility, and your potential can now grow without work. So the question is to everyone, what are you working on?
So
And
let
if
me.
you're working on self, and I'm not talking about a job, because the job prepares us for a true work.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we working on from the time we wake up and making time slots for the time by the time we go to bed? What are we working on?
Good question. So let me pause. Sharice just joined us out of Atlanta. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. And Warren said, "Okay, Dr. Ozzie, I'm stuck in a purpose dilemma. I'm a multi-purpose entrepreneur. Help
Mhm.
me out. I've known my purpose for years, but never financially. Now doors are opening. Talk to me, sir."
Okay. So here it is. The purpose dilemma is, and I know you're a writer also. So have you taken the time to write all these things down? I'm not talking about typing it. There's a whole difference.
Mhm.
Writing something down, it actually send different signals in the brain cells into the consciousness to bring out certain things. So until we actually we got to go back old school. Sometimes you got to go a little way back before the computer age came in and the keyboards. You have to write it down with your hand, with the pen, pencil on paper. So
Okay.
basically, when we are able to do that and visualize it, something start coming into separation. It's almost like separating the waters, because now you're going to be able to prioritize everything and cultivate what need to be touched on. And sometimes it may come a place where you may have to focus on one thing at a time and not too much of a multi thing. Because as men, we are straight visionary, one thing at a time. You may have more than one thing, but maybe you're working on too many things at too many times. And if you have probably 3 or 4 things, it got to be slotted.
Okay.
It got to be slotted. So if it's not slotted, it's going to raise confusion, distraction, and the one word that you don't want, even though it's a little bit, it's good. Stress.
Okay.
Because
So
go
he
ahead.
had a follow-up comment. He said to help you, I have 3 different doors open last week to help me financially and allow me to flow in my purpose. Pray for me. And then
Okay.
yes. So
So
he said don't.
okay. So here it is, right? Now, the 3 different doors that is open for you and it's financially. Now, the question is, have you took it to God in prayer and asked him questions? Because sometimes we pray, but we don't ask questions because the answer come in asking questions. Because if we ask the question, the answer will follow. The light will show and shine upon the direction that we need to walk on through. Because sometimes we have to be able to say no to some things in order to see the yes. And sometimes we have to understand that purpose is a legacy in the long range. But what we're doing now in our habits in the short term, it will lead us to that. Sometimes we're trying to get there before we actually do the little things that we need to build up to get there. Because I believe in observation, and a lot of things that I have learned is based on observation. And I write it down and I try to get understanding. Because I believe once you get understanding of a thing, it builds that muscle in the mind. It helps you be able to discern right from wrong, left from right, and where you need to be standing at that time. Now, what you may have in mind may be for a later time, but is that time right now of what you need to be working on to put your 100% in so you could be able to develop the other parts. Now, the other parts will fall in place, but sometimes we may have ourselves stretched out. So now we need to set the goals. Now, these things may be in parts, maybe a certain date for that time frame, but trying to take on too much at one time, it's just going to combust.
All right. So he said, I hope you can catch me in the spirit as well as naturally. These are 3 different doors opening from years of praying. I gave up trying to figure it out and asked God to work on my behalf.
Okay.
So, and I've talked to Warren, so I understand kind of what he's going through. But
And
I
I'm
really,
doing it in parts.
yes, but I really want to be clear on, again, kind of like big purpose and little purpose, because we live on purpose every day, right?
That's purposeful life. And the awareness and the stewardship of it is what's so important. So what are we being a steward over? it really going to show the light on how we are able to manage. So it's not something that we haven't acknowledged yet, but we have to acknowledge it to actually be disciplined enough to bring it all into manifestation. So it's all about putting it in blocks, not dismissing, because everything have its time frame of fulfilling. So
Mm-hmm.
which one is moving you more deeply and passionately is the one that you need to be focusing on. If I knock a nugget right there,
Okay.
because all three could be meaningful, but one of those three things is really going to touch you deep inside, and that is what you need to be moving towards
Mm.
in the
Okay.
spirit.
Okay. Roz just joined us. She said, "Hit the like button, everybody."
Hey,
Thank you,
Ross.
Roz. All right. So Warren said, "I'm agreeing and understanding, Dr. Oz." All
Okay.
right. Very good.
Yeah.
So Ozzy, I
Yes.
I really want to focus on like these kind of solutions as it relates to defining purpose. So
Okay.
I know you got a list. I know you do. You probably got
Yes,
a
yes, I do. Yes, I do.
okay.
Because I knew by the half hour, 30 minutes into it, that list will be asked about. So, yes,
Exactly.
it is prepared. And I
Okay.
hope that, after the show, everyone could go back and I do hope during the time frame when I come to close on conversation with Nicole that everyone should know by now that they should have their paper and pen
That's right.
writing down their own notes so they could go back and reflect on it and see how they need to really work through it and
Mm,
understand it, because it's meaningful right now to take you through the year. So this word that I'm sharing right now is to take you through the rest of the year with
okay.
gratitude.
With gratitude.
With
Love.
gratitude, but it's all about preparation. It's all about getting ourselves focused, because it's so much distraction going on right now. And if we don't have our focus on and know where we are going and being guided rightly,
Hmm.
we'll just see another year just pass by,
Absolutely.
And all I always say that life is, to me now, life is nothing about more than just sunrises and sunset. That's how I greet the day now and the
Gotcha.
seasons, but the most important thing is adjustment. So,
Well, hold on. So I see Donda just joined us here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here.
hello.
And we are almost at the halfway mark of our conversation. So, for those of you who just joined us, I have Ozzie Daniel on talking about defining purpose. Ozzie is a counselor in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And we figured out that Ozzie has been with us for almost 4 years. This month marks 4 years
Yeah,
with
yeah,
his
yeah.
our first conversation being managing your personal life back on January 31st of 2022. So I
Look,
just want
you
to
see,
publicly, personally say thank you, Ozzy, for your commitment to Conversations with Nicole, especially as I told you, we are getting ready to mark 10 years of Conversations with Nicole in March. And so you have been a part of that history. So we thank you for your contribution and for your willingness to come on so frequently. We used to get you like every month, and then it was every other month, and then it was once a quarter. I think we got you down for about 3 this year, but we'll take what we can get. Okay.
you're welcome, Nicole, and I find great joy and much gratitude in the time that is allotted to share and cultivate and just, be part of something wonderful. And I
Thank
think it's a beautiful thing. So congratulations on 10 years
Yes.
of servicing and serving, and living in your purpose and walking in it. And I am totally delighted in it because of the consistency. And I love consistency. So good
Yes.
job.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.
And take it for another 10 years. Take
Okay.
it in.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. So Warren started to, it looks like he's in the midst of asking a question, but it looks like it might have got cut off. He said, please answer this. Answer this, please. I used to believe that my purpose was doing a job or living a lifestyle that you'll do for free and then you'll be on purpose. But in life, you have to make a living.
And that is true. So one of the things that we need to look at is your job should always be a field that you're working in to create and cultivate your work life.
Mm,
So to the point that when you get into your work, it should just come automatically. And you don't have to, when you're working in your purpose and you're working in your work, you don't have to worry about nothing financially
mm,
because God Himself will make sure all those needs are met. That's
mm,
why I focus on Matthew 6:33 consistently when He says to seek ye first the kingdom and His righteousness, and then all things, He didn't say some things,
right.
all things will be added unto you. And I believe that whatever God called for, He provide for.
Mm-hmm.
So our mindset should always be on kingdom principles. If we think in kingdom, everything will fall in place. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because now we are living that citizen lifestyle. We are living that lifestyle in kingdom principles. So now, because we are doing that with purpose and intentionally, everything else will align itself.
Okay.
So hopefully, out of this 10 steps that I have 10 pointers, hopefully you find some answers in there to reflect on. So I believe that you're already there. You just have to see it. Don't wait to believe it when you see it. You got to see it now.
Okay.
Because once you see it now, all you're doing is just waiting for the manifestation of it.
Got it. Okay. Very good. And mom just joined us. Hey, ma. Love you.
Hello.
All right. So 10 steps to
10
define.
steps.
Okay. To define a
Uh,
purpose. What's number one?
Number one, you got to define what you have been entrusted with.
Mm,
What you've been entrusted with. Because you see, what you've been entrusted with will bring stewardship. So when you have stewardship, you will know how to manage your time, your talents, your health, your finances, your relationships, and your influences. Because you cannot manage what you have not acknowledged. But once you acknowledge it, you're able to manage it.
So is this, I don't know, is define the appropriate word or is it discovering what you have been entrusted with?
Well, all of this will, with the steps,
Mm-hmm.
will define for those who don't know so they could see through their mind's eye,
Mm-hmm.
what it's supposed to look like.
Okay.
Because if we do not know what it's supposed to look like, we will replace it with something else.
All right.
And that could lead to confusion.
Thank you for being my scribe, Warren. And Mr. John White is in the house. Duval.
Hey, Duval. Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Bill. He actually just had a birthday the other day. Happy belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday, sir.
Right. Warren is
Oh.
like be tonight. Warren
I tell you, you are done with that man. He got you. I have nothing to do with that,
you
Nicole.
get your show, Warren. You just wait. Anyway, all right. Come on, number 2. What we got?
Number 2. Okay, just like how you spoke about it earlier while you were discussing, your building up and training your son and actually just the relationship part of it.
Right.
The most important part in number 2 is clarifying your why,
Mm-hmm.
because purpose come before productivity. Because you see, when you find your purpose, now it's going to give direction to discipline. Now you're not going to be careless. You're not going to be in and out of everything, because when you know your why, something consistently start pinging within your being into moving that direction. And it's not going to be forced. It's going to just happen naturally.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. So all of this is just within the phrase and the spectrum of purpose.
Mm.
So once we understand these things, we're going to become more disciplined. You see, and that's the key right there. It's the discipline part, because if we have our hand in all the cookie jars, we're not going to find the right one with all the chocolate chips, because we're so busy doing other things that we don't need to be doing. We need to say no to it and have some discipline away from it.
Okay.
Yeah. So number 3,
Mm-hmm.
got to adapt an ownership mindset.
Okay.
Basically meaning taking responsibility. Because once we take responsibility, it's going to shift us into not reacting, but leading that life. You see? Because when you start leading that life, others going to see you leading that life, or they may be attracted to that life, and they may come and deposit into that life of yours.
Okay.
So that's taking on responsibility there, because to be a true leader, because I say I'm a servant leader, I lead by serving. So basically, I live the lifestyle of it. I practice the lifestyle of it, and all my habits lead into that lifestyle of it. So now it's become such a natural thing.
Okay.
Right. So lead into a natural things. Number 4 is aligning your daily habits with long-term vision.
Mm. Align your daily habits with long-term vision.
Mm-hmm.
How you do that?
Okay. Because purpose lives in the future, but discipline lives in today.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, your small and repeated action that you take shape your character, that bring bigger intention. You see? Because all of that is the shaping, the cultivating of it. And it shape everything that lead into that direction of that future in your mind, that purpose
Okay.
that is within. Just like you asked me, and you keep saying in the last 2 shows, that when is Ozzie going to have this jazz corner? You see, that's a long-term vision. You see, so having that long-term vision, I am just continually doing my work.
Mm-hmm.
I have that in sight, but I know I have not arrived there yet.
Gotcha.
So basically, because that is a desire, now I just leave it on the master to chop in and to make it happen when the time is right. But it's just a long-term vision, because it's all about having goals. If you don't have no goal, basically somebody going to create a goal for you. And it may not be the goal that was intended for you.
Very true. Very true. All right.
So, number 5.
Yes.
You got to practice some delayed gratification. That takes some discipline on it.
Yeah.
And it takes self-discipline in choosing what we want most over what we want now. So with that, we have to write it down. If we're not writing nothing down, ain't nothing gonna happen. Nothing. It's not going to materialize. It's not going to happen. So what are we doing? Are we taking the time with our journals? Are we writing what we're grateful for? Are we actually practicing those things, to practice self-discipline? Because when we visualize it, now it's like, okay, it will always put us in the sphere of now, because now you're living in the present. Where God relies, he relies in the present, always in the present tense. Sometimes our mind wander all over the place sometimes, but we need to bring it into stillness.
Yes.
So it will discipline us on what we spend in, what we eat in, what we speaking about, or decision making. So all of these things, it's in the wholeness. All of this is in parts, but it's making a whole.
Okay.
And the big part about it, Nicole, is our decision making. Are we doing it on impulse? Are we actually strategizing and analyzing our decision before that decision is made? I have a soul saying, which many have heard it before: measure twice, cut once.
Right.
Because once that decision is made, it's done.
Very true.
So coming into number 6.
Hold on, let me give a shout out to Sambaza in Forney, Texas. This is one of my new
Texas in the house. All right.
podcast buddies that I met at Podfest the other day in Orlando. So hey Sambaza, thank you for being here. Y'all please check him out. Check him out. Check him out. The Sambaza podcast. He actually, I think, comes on at 9:30. No, he's an hour. No, he's like 30 minutes behind us. Anyway, Sambaza, put your information in the chat so I can shout you out. All right. And then Coach Merv in Madison, Florida. Thank you for being here. He said, delayed gratification, my brother. I am with you. What's happening, Nicole? Shout out to Coach Merv and boys.
Oh, Mr. Coach there. All right now. Speak it up.
We appreciate you. All right. So number 6, what we got?
The most important thing that God has allotted all of us, and what we do with it, it's really going to manifest later on. So we have to guard our time and our attention. What are we giving our attention to? What are we actually adding value to? And are we valuing our resource? Are we really putting ourselves into the yes category of what we need to be doing, and saying no to what we don't need to be doing right now? Not now or dismiss, no, for right now, because in all of that responsibility come accountability. So we have to guard our time and our attention. Sometimes we put too much attention into certain things that distract us from what we need to be doing now.
Stepping on my toes. I'm just saying.
So guard your time and make it valuable. So basically, in other words, too, if someone is not valuing your time, stop wasting your time. And if you're wasting somebody's time, stop wasting their time and put your time in the places and the resources that you need to be occupying that. But I believe that once you spend enough time in the presence of Elohim, you will know, because you will sense within your being what you need to be making time for and what you need to be not taking too much time into. So it's called time management. Simple. Time management. There you go.
Cool.
All right.
Real quick, Keisha just joined us here in Tallahassee. Thank you for being here.
All right, Keisha.
And Sambaza came back. He said he's on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Central. 8 p.m. Central. So yes, you're welcome. Thank you. So y'all check Sambaza out. All right. So that's a good one. Guard our time and attention. Yeah, that's a really good one. Okay.
So create a structure that support growth.
All right. That's
number 7. So, number 7 is create a structure that support growth. That means As I said earlier, discipline is not restriction, it's freedom with boundaries. So
Mm.
what you do in your routines, what you do with your schedule and your system, really going to reduce stress and increase consistency. So all of these things come in parts, to build. But if we're not seeing it and understanding the parts of it, it's easy to get off track and
Mhm.
delay track.
Yes, yes, yes,
So
yes.
everything takes structure.
Mhm.
And, most of these things that I've learned and sharing with you all really come from the book of Proverbs.
Okay.
I study the book of Proverbs every January
Okay.
because Proverbs have 31 chapters
Mm.
and the month of January have 31 days. So there you go.
There you go.
One day for Proverbs, right? So these are the things that you have to work on your personal development in order to really get it ingrained within your being so it could flow. Everything is on the flow with action. But I
Okay.
like to say action and love. Let love flow with it. Sometimes we get into things and I can't believe this. I'm going through all that again. No, but if you do it love and have love for it, it just flows so easily. And you'll be so stunned to know how much you could get done in a short matter of time. Because remember, it's all about sunrises and sunset, right?
True. So Coach Merv said, "Come on, brother, you are preaching. A prudent man builds for the future, protecting time, energy, and guarding the gates of the mind." Hot
That's
topic, Nicole.
exactly right there.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
Hmm.
That's a little word of exhortation there.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, here we come to number 8.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be accountable to something greater than yourself.
Mm.
Mm. So, remember, I was sharing earlier that the potential and the giftings and your purpose is not always going to be about you. It's all about giving and
Mm-hmm.
sharing and pouring into others. Because sometimes we like, what about me? Yeah, what about you? You have to just continue working on you to actually let it flow because we don't want to get so overwhelmed and just crunching within our own self that we end up sabotaging the good that is in us to give. As I was telling Nicole earlier, love is something you give. It's never something you receive. It's
Mm.
something you give. So therefore, you have to become it to give it. So we always say God is love. So are you spending enough time with God so you could understand what love is?
Mm.
So you could become love because He is love. So it can flow through you because that's the potential about it, and that's the purpose of life. It's all about love and serving.
Okay. Another great point.
Right. So be accountable, to something greater than ourselves. So it may be that what builds our legacy, in our community. And
Yes.
it builds accountability and strengthen us,
Mm-hmm.
but do it out of love and not out of ego,
Yes.
you know. We gotta keep that ego in check.
Got to.
Gotta keep it in check.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So
All right.
and number 9, gotta evaluate sometime. You gotta adjust sometime and you gotta stay teachable. Sometimes some are not teachable at all. They're stubborn as rocks. But
So
we
back that one up again.
have to, we got to evaluate, adjust, and stay teachable.
Okay.
It's basically coming down to a part of, ask yourself, what are we working on? What's draining us? Sometime what's draining us, we need to sometime put some boundaries to that.
Mm.
And what we need to change because we live in a system of change and change because the change is always going to develop and add growth.
Mm.
It's always going to develop and add growth. So fear not. But we got to evaluate sometime. We got to make adjustment. I'm always making adjustment every single day.
Hmm.
But how do I make those adjustments? I do it through my meditation
Mm-hmm.
because the meditation lead me into the adjustments that I need to make to live that life. It's all about living.
Okay. Coach Merv said, I don't normally agree with everything someone is saying, but bro, you are cooking tonight and my plate is ready. You
Yeah,
moved.
right.
Well,
That's a good one.
Merv.
Amen on that one. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm.
All right. Mm-mm.
All right.
All
Okay.
right. So we ready
Number
for number
10. Number 10. And write that one down in capital letters.
two? Okay.
Capital letters. Leave what you manage better than how you found it.
Leave what you managed better than you found it. Okay.
Yeah, and that take focus.
Mm-hmm.
That take focus. You know? So it's not about having control, but it's about growth and multiplication. And I think that is the seed right there where I spoke about earlier of the mustard seed in all of us. We all have a mustard seed, but it takes faith.
Mm-hmm.
It takes faith, and through that, that's where it really grows,
Yeah.
and it stay firm, and it stay grounded, and the roots go deep.
Okay.
But got to put in the work. We got to put in the work. So these notes that I'm sharing in the month of January is to take you through all the way into December and into the new year,
Mm-hmm.
Lord's willing. But
Yeah.
at the same time, have gratitude, practice gratitude, and have your vitamin G daily. The vitamin G is gratitude. So got to have a dose of it because it keeps us grounded. And I like the fact that it both starts with G. Gratitude keeps us grounded. And when we practice that, it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a lifestyle. And that's the kind of lifestyle we want to have. And I could say when I reflect on my life last year and the year before, my mindset is this: I got to do better than the year before. That is my motivation every single year. My close friends know I say that all the time.
Yeah.
Got to do better than the year before. But yet I don't try to do it alone. I do it with guidance, you know.
Well, and really is for me is trying to do better than the day before.
Oh,
You know?
that's deep. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Each day.
And that it takes focus. It
It does.
takes loving yourself and self-care and putting that time in self and just knowing that, hey, I'm here for a purpose.
Yep.
So Lord God Almighty, and as I call him Elohim, fulfill it. Let that will be done in my life on earth as it is in heaven. And if we keep that kingdom mindset, all we're going to see is productivity. And you're like, man, I was waiting for you to say that, because his will not be done until we allow him to let his will be done in our life. Because you see, he's a gentleman. He's not going to force himself.
Right.
We got to be open to it and his leading. So his best could come through us and flow through us because he's the one who placed it in there. So
Wow. So we have just defined purpose.
yeah.
Yes. Warren said, I leave y'all with another proverb, Proverb 12 and 1. Okay. I don't know what that says, but help us out, Warren. If
Type
you
it out. I
can
probably
put it in the chat.
I probably know it as soon as you type it out, but type it out. I won't tell you write it out because we won't be able to read it, but type it out so we could see what it says. So with everybody listening, you know, what does all of these things that is channeling in your mind right now saying to you in one sentence?
All right. So in the comments, if you could let us know based on the discussion that we had tonight, what's a nugget or a gem that you got from tonight's conversation? Let us know in the comments. What's a nugget? And maybe it's a favorite one of the steps. Maybe one of the steps that really resonated with you. And let me see if I can go back and try to pull them up. So first one was define what you've been entrusted with. Number 2, clarify your why. Number 3, adapt an ownership mindset. Number 4, align your daily habits with long-term vision. Number 5, practice delayed gratification. Number 6, guard your time and attention. 7, create a structure that supports growth. 8, be accountable to something greater than yourself. 9, evaluate, adjust, and stay teachable. And 10, leave what you manage better than you found it. Yes. Keisha, not on repeat. What does that mean, Keisha? I don't understand. All right, Donda said, managing my time. Yes, that's a good one. That probably is mine too, Donda. Guarding my time and attention. That's a big one. Big, big, big for me. Anybody else? Again, safe space. Warren, whoever
Oh,
loves
yes.
discipline loves knowledge. He who hates reproof is stupid. Let's not be stupid for not adhering to Dr. Oz teacher tonight. Great teaching tonight.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Warren.
Yes. Such a blessing.
Okay.
So, the goal is, being faithfulness,
Mm-hmm.
having faithfulness for yourself and submitting to God and his values and accountability that he set upon your life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't run from it, run to it. And sometimes we do that and we delay his blessings upon our lives because in your
That is for
purpose
sure.
is your blessings.
Okay. So, Ozzy, please give us, maybe that was your closing remark right there, but let the people know how they can connect with you, sir.
Yes, you could connect with me on Facebook, Ozzie Daniel, or on, you could email me, the ozcorner@gmail.com, or on IG, Ozwiz2819, everything that is flowing through your screen right now. And let's touch base, let's keep in touch, and let's keep encouraging each other and do it in love and encourage other listeners to really take into the word that is shared tonight and impart it upon their lives so they could bring the best out of their own life and fulfill their potential on this earth through working on these areas that is so important and vital in our family, in our relationships, in our finances, and everything that we do, because everything is in whole. But until we see the vision of it, we will miss it and we'll miss our purpose on this earth, what we supposed to be delivering, not just to our little circle, but everywhere we go. It doesn't matter where, but stay faithful and be a steward of leadership in the purpose that is on your life, because everyone have it within them. Everyone, if you breathe in the breath of life, there's something in you to deliver to everyone. You don't have to be no famous, great, well popular. Start where you are. Start
Mhm.
right there in your home and let it be.
Yes.
Some people purpose may be a great chef. Some people purpose may be a great speaker. Some people purpose may be just serving others and helping others. Whatever you're doing, pay attention to
Mm,
it right now, what you're doing now, and be so in tune. And in there, you're going to find it,
absolutely. Well,
you
thank
know.
you.
But
you so much, Ozzy. We have several comments. Let's see. Yeah, so Warren said that's Proverbs 12:1. Thank you, Warren. Keisha, we are not staying stagnant in certain areas where I know better. That's great. I love it. Want to encourage you in that. Warren, leave what you managed better than you found it. Love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing that, Warren. And then my family freshman classmate, Old Town Boy, he said, thank you for sharing with us. And thank you, Nicole, for bringing value on every show. Thank you so much. Raymer, I appreciate you so
Thank
much. As Ozzy has said, yes, please share this with somebody. Let's keep the conversation going. For those of you who may be new to the platform, please subscribe to Conversations with Nicole on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, Conversations with Nicole, and on Facebook. Subscribing and supporting, and we need all the support we can get. I want to thank you, Ozzy, for your time and for bringing purpose to our forefront, to our frontal lobe today, and all of the steps to help us define it for ourselves and walk in it in 2026, right? We
That's right.
walking in
That's
purpose,
right.
walking in purpose,
Walking
walking
in purpose.
in purpose.
And
Yeah.
if you are singing and that's your purpose, sing it all. Sing
Mhm.
it great. Sing it deeply from your soul because you never know what life you are touching and moving and lifting in that time.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
so
All right. Cherise said, thank you, thank you, thank you, Cherise. We appreciate you. All right,
welcome.
good people. Listen, we will be here, God willing, on Wednesday. We actually are talking about it's Exercise Your Friend with Miss Danita Thomas, who has osteopenia, which I had not heard of it until she told me about it, but it's a condition related to bone loss and menopause. So, definitely, if you know any women that are going through menopause, they want to definitely tune in and find out more about that condition and how she has used exercise to help kind of deal with that in her life. So,
Mm,
again, thank you, Ozzy.
you're
Appreciate
welcome.
you.
I
And
appreciate you too. I appreciate everyone who took the time to listen in tonight and keep on doing the do, not Mountain Dew, but do the do for your life, that you could continue being a blessing to everyone that you meet and touch and be resilient, you
mhm,
know. And when challenges is going to always come, but just know that you're overcomer with a positive attitude.
absolutely. All right, good people. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you soon.
Take care. Good night.
Bye.